Ancient ruins are discovered with a map to an alien world.
I think they want us to come and find them.
Believing it to be the origins of humanity, a team sets off to find the alien home planet.
Let's say you do find these beings down there. They'll do nothing but report back to me.
But after they land, they discover they may have imperiled humankind.
You have to stop it! We're not stopping anything.
In Prometheus.
Now that we have all just seen it, we can answer, finally, definitively, is this a prequel to Alien?
Kind of.
Not really. It's got elements that are true to Alien. We recognize things from Alien, but in no way does this movie have events that lead up to the beginning of the picture that we know of as Alien. And what we do have is a movie that is extremely ambitious, but I'm not sure makes a whole lot of sense.
It's a little bit sad to review this film because there was so much hype leading up to it. I mean, we did a preview review of Prometheus about a few weeks ago, and then, you know, I feel like everyone I know has been counting down to watching it.
This
and now,
was my most anticipated movie of the year.
Yeah,
mine too.
To deconstruct it is a little depressing.
It does want to present these questions that are very interesting that we all ask ourselves about the origins of the universe and is there a higher power, etc. And then when our characters go to where they're going to digest these questions and find out about them, you really kind of get a schlocky horror sci-fi hybrid akin to Alien. And so I think it has a lot of trouble balancing what it wants to be in terms of a spiritual science movie versus a horror film.
I think the best way to get into those issues of what it means to be alive and where does humanity come from and where does religion and spirituality fit against science is to tell a really deep character story and to show people grappling with these issues as they affect their lives. And the problem with this movie is none of the characters really are that interesting or compelling. To me, it seems like a B-movie version of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
But instead of giving the enigmatic answer that's given at the end of 2001, we sort of just forget about those things and delve instead into people getting killed and explosions.
Just somebody like Damon Lindelof, who's the co-writer here, of course, he was involved very highly in Lost. I almost feel like he wrote a very long pilot. You know, he had all these ideas that he could say, hey, we could expand upon this in a franchise, and it's not enough of a self-contained story. I still was kind of mesmerized by the filmmaking and also by the cast, who I think is doing an incredible job, even if their roles aren't that substantial.
We do have an amazing cast, though. I mean, this is an absolute dream cast. We have Michael Fassbender, Idris Elba, Noomi Rapace. The list goes on. And I wouldn't say that it's a waste of talent. It's just not necessarily, you know, used to the full potential.
Fassbender is genius in this movie.
Yeah.
He was my favorite part of the film. He plays an android, and it's a constant question of how much he's really in control of his own actions, if he has a soul. And he imbues this character, which really isn't written with much depth, into so much depth. The way he'll say things, the way he'll look at things.
Why do you think your people made me?
We made you because we could.
Can you imagine how disappointing it would be for you to hear the same thing from your creator?
The Alien franchise is known for having kick-ass female characters. I mean, Sigourney Weaver, you can't beat that. She's the ultimate role model in science fiction action films. And Noomi Rapace does a great job as an actress, but as a character, she was written as very guilt-ridden, very self-delusional and a little bit awkward at times, and that was disappointing as a woman going into this franchise again thinking I was going to get another really cool female character.
You don't get enough of any of these characters. It doesn't delve enough into them. Instead, it just sort of goes into a lot of slimy monster effect.
Yeah, I think that what makes Blade Runner and the original Alien so great is they have such coherent and yet ineffable themes. There is a point of view that these movies share about the world that could only be described by watching that movie.
Yeah.
And this movie has none of that.
But it is gorgeous, and I think that's what kept me invested the entire time were the production values. I'm not a huge fan of 3D, but I did think it added to the experience a little bit, and it immersed me, especially in that one scene with the storm. I was just very excited to be visually immersed into the film.
This is probably, at least from a directing standpoint, Ridley Scott's best work since probably Black Hawk Down, maybe. Even though the script is weak, he dives headfirst into the material and directs it to the hilt. It's beautiful to look at, and I was fascinated by every frame in terms of the look of the picture and the direction of the picture. I just thought that the script wound up not working.
You won't want to hear this, but this movie has a lot of problems, but it'll hold your interest regardless. So I say stream it.
As much as I really didn't love this movie, and as much as I thought it was ponderously lightweight, I still enjoy seeing sci-fi think pieces, and I hope they make another one. Stream it.
Prometheus just squeaks by for me with some slick filmmaking that overcomes the weaker written elements. So I'm gonna say see it.
All right, well, it looks like our votes add up to 2 tickets, which is to stream it for Prometheus.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.
Okay.
Chest hurts.